You can have whatever you like with a great credit score. Good afternoon. This is you and your credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, Remus Bowman. And let me remind you, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So it's it's paramount that we prepare ourselves for things that are going to happen that potentially could happen to us in our future. One of the major things that's happening right now throughout the United States is weather, is hurricanes. There have been no less than 2 major hurricanes to attack the borderline states of Florida and Texas. These are the catastrophes that have been developed as a result of the losses and the additional water and the bad weather and, just everything. Everything has gone wrong. However, have you ever noticed that there are some people that go through adversity and they end up still standing? And then there's the other people that go through adverse times and it almost pretty much destroys them because they have not taken the time to prepare themselves for adversity. This is going to happen for us. This is going to happen in our lives. I remember when we went through Katrina. At the time that we had Katrina, that was 12 years ago. My credit score was a 785. So when my family and I relocated to Atlanta, and we went to apply for an apartment, there was no problem. When we went out to purchase an automobile, there was no problem. This is something that we have to consider. Adversity is a part of life. We get sick, our family members get sick, we get in automobile accidents, or people run into our cars. All kinds of things can happen in your life just during the course of a day. Are you prepared, or are you preparing yourself for the potential of an adverse situation that may occur in your life? Having faith and being a person who believes in God and going to church and those kind of things, those are very positive things. Mostly what we learn from having faith is to prepare ourselves through educating ourselves about life's events. If you're not educating yourself to just about as much information as possible about things that are going to be going on in your life, then you're going to have a more difficult time than others. Every day when you go to work, have you ever noticed that there's that one person who's always got the nice car? They live in a nicer neighborhood, but they make the same money as you do. What's the difference in the income that this person has versus the income that you have? We look at people and we try to examine why they're driving. Why is that person able to get a nicer car than me? Or why is that person able to live in a nicer neighborhood than I do? It's because they have good credit. There are lots of people who walk and I work at a car dealership at Toyota New Orleans, and I see people virtually every day. And some people will walk into a dealership and they'll say, well, I know I have bad credit, but, I need a car. And my response to most people is, we're going to do what you need done today, but here, let me give you this information that you need to develop as a part of your lifestyle. If you take this, and then the next time you need to buy a car, you need to move, or you need to get your lights turned on or whatever, then you might not have to put up a big deposit in the event that you need to get a new phone. Like, these phone companies are charging all kinds of crazy rates for these phones. And so as a result, the best deal is when you can move from one phone company to the next, but you have to qualify. So if you see the advertising and they say, well, $50 a month for for four phones. But if you can't qualify for that plan, then you're gonna have to pay at a higher rate. Credit affects every part of our financial life. I had a lady who I was able to help get a car last week, and she told her manager about me, and the manager, when of course she didn't come in and ask for me, but she heard my name, and she said, "Oh, you're the one who helped my friend get a car." And I said, "Who's your friend?" And then when she told me, I said, "Yep, I did." And not only is this particular person looking to get a car, she is also looking to move into her first home. The point is that if you're going to pay these fees, these high fees, why not try to start from the basics? As a small child, when you first learn to walk, you have to learn to get up, crawl, exercise those limbs, build up strength, the strength in your limbs to give you the opportunity to stand. None of this happens if you don't go through a certain process in order to learn to stand properly and learn to walk eventually. Same deal with credit. We're going to be touching on some relative information in just a few minutes, but it's the same thing. It's like when you were a child and your parents would give you cash draw. I remember seeing a comedy skit by Chris Rock, and he was talking about how his dad kept giving him Robitussin for everything. Put some Robitussin on it. Well, it's the same theory. Once you have a basic understanding how credit works and how it affects you and how to keep your credit scores up, then guess what happens? It never leaves you. Every month after month after month after month, you'll check your anniversary dates. You'll check a copy of it. Right now, there's so many different companies that are publishing electronically credit scores. It's unreal. So you got no excuse not to know what's on your credit report. And it's a well-known fact that 80% of the information on our credit reports, a large percentage of it is incorrect. So if it's incorrect and you need to get it removed from your credit score or from your credit file, hey, just go to youandyourcredit.us, press the red button, and register, and we will help you get the negative information off your credit file. If you need counseling on how to improve your credit score, I do this as a free service. Just come by Toyota of New Orleans, and I'll be more than happy to meet with you and give you some great ideas. If you're looking to buy a car, now right now, I get this question all the time over the years because I've been a part of the automobile industry for a long time. And, because of several other businesses that I've been involved with. But at the end of the day, my love has always been for automobiles and having people be able to purchase the vehicle that they want. I got a phone call last night, and Toyota's coming out with this 2018 Toyota Camry, and you got to see it. It's one of the most beautiful cars out there. If you're in the market for a vehicle and you qualify to purchase one, I would wait until you see this car. You want to see this particular car before you make a buying decision, because I'm telling you, it's got Lexus written all over, but it's a Toyota. It's a Toyota Camry. It's got everything. It's a beautiful vehicle. And so I got a phone call yesterday, and the lady tells me, she says, I need a car, man. I seen that 2018 Camry. I want that thing. And I said, are you ready? She said, I will be soon. Wait till I talk to my daddy. I'm like, okay. Now, I've known this young lady for a few months, and I counsel with people constantly. And most of us try to do what we can within our understanding of what's available to us. Actually, we need to make some, we have to give ourselves a strong talking to. We have to challenge ourselves to make some changes so that we can include credit restoration as a part of our life or our financial life. I have people all the time who are, they have friends that have been in my credit restoration program, and they'll call me, and then they'll say, well, instead of going to the credit program, I have something else to do. I said, well, what is it that you're doing? I said, well, I'm going on vacation. Okay. I would rather start a credit restoration program and be able to, at the end of 2 or 3 months, be able to correct my credit and maybe get a credit card and pay monthly for that vacation, and be able to, if I needed a car, be able to come in and buy a car or whatever else that I need that I could pay on a monthly basis, versus using all my assets and blowing them on something that you really never get that opportunity again. In many cases, a lot of times we try to do things that may or may not be in our best interest. But if we just swallow that poison pill one time, and we take the information and learn it, and learn what it is that we need to do to change it. And it's so easy, because I didn't always understand how to create a good credit score. Believe me, I didn't. Nobody wakes up in the morning and saying, hey, God gave me this gift, and I don't need to educate myself. I just know it. No, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. Everything that you learn, you have to study. You have to learn. You may take to it quickly. You may develop a fast understanding of how it works. But if you don't take the time to learn it and learn the basis of how things are done, then you'll never get it. Hey, it's time for our first break. This is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, Remus Bowman. We'll be right back. You can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, you can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, you can have whatever you like. This is Remus Bowman. I want to invite you every Monday at 12 o'clock live for You and Your Credit. Call in, you can ask me questions. Believe me, I've got most of the answers for you. We're going to help you get a good credit score. We're going to open doors for you to have an opportunity to be successful and pay low interest for your automobile, your home, your credit cards, everything that you buy. We're going to put you on a great path to have a successful future. Send me your request for information. I'll be glad to answer your question. Every Monday at 12 o'clock, join me from 12 to 1 Monday afternoon for You and Your Credit, originating from New Orleans Talk Network.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
You can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, you can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like.
You can have whatever you like with a great credit score.
I said you
can have whatever you like. Think about it. Think about it. I got an email on Messenger from a friend on Facebook just a moment ago, and I was reading it. And, you know, I was looking at it, and I was reading it, and I was thinking to myself, this is some interesting stuff. And this is from a good friend of mine, Rudy Pierce. Rudy and I have known each other for a number of years. Some of you may know Rudy as the Gumbo Man. Rudy he messaged me. He says, "Hey, bro, I thought of you when I read this." Mark Linton wrote, "A real man is the kind of man that when your feet hits the floor each morning, the devil says, 'Oh, crap, he's up.' Brother, life is too short to wake up with regrets." Now, I happen to agree with Rudy. Life is too short to wake up with regrets. And one of the biggest regrets most of us often have is that we don't do what we know we should do. Come on, man. If somebody told me $300-400, I can get all the negative information off my credit report, virtually everything that I didn't agree with, and I could start a new life. Now, here's the thing that most people don't understand. Most people who are probably listening to this or watching this show don't realize. But credit restoration has been around for a lot of years. A lot of years. The company we use, United Financial Services, or FES, has been around for 12 years. I don't actually go out and start doing the restoration myself, because I have a reliable source that is, that's a member of the Better Business Bureau. Matter of fact, Union Credit has been offered an opportunity to become a member of the Better Business Bureau, and we're considering it right now. But the fact of the matter is that we want to do business with legitimate companies. And, if I'm going to recommend someone, I'm not going to recommend someone that I got to worry about. Believe me. I'm not going to do it. I know people who tell people all the time. I've had conversation upon conversation with clients, and they tell me about different people that have taken their money and didn't offer them anything, didn't do anything for them. We don't roll like that. To me, that's theft. One of the primary objectives I have, one of the reasons why I got involved in this thing in the first place, is because over the years, and I've been at Toyota for about 6 years or so, and over the years, I've had a number of people, largely females, that were in dire straits because they needed transportation. And I wanted to, and I saw actual tears from people. I've seen people actually break down into tears because of their responsibility level and that they weren't able to get transportation so they can go to and from where they needed to go to live up to the necessities of their life. You know, if you got a job, you need to be at that job at a particular time. You want to be able to do that as efficiently as possible. You know, get up, get dressed, I'm off to work. Whether it's no matter what the job is, if it's a job and it's paying you money, you've made a bilateral agreement with that employer. He pays you, you do the work, and life is good. But when you can't get to work because your car won't start, it's a hoopty. I had this lady, and she was in my credit restoration program, and she called me. She said, Mr. Remus, I don't know if I can get there with this thing that I'm driving. I said, wow. I said, well, if you get here, I'm going to get you a new car today. Bring me your proof of income. We're going to get you in a new car. We're going to use your hoopty as a trade. So she made it. And if you'll look on my FES page or even on any one of my Facebook pages, you'll see her. She's smiling like she's been blessed. And she often says to me that God is the answer. That prayer changes everything in everybody's life. God gives us an opportunity to have answers to all of our questions, but we have to be open to accepting the answers. And we have to be able to accept the answers that's given, and use the situation that's available to us to remedy the problems that we have. I just found out, and I'm not going to go really into a whole deal, but I just found out that I have some very serious problems physically with my health. So as a result, I have a number of friends that do different types of work, and a few of them are medical professionals, doctors, people who work in labs, and nurses, and when I first found out I had this problem, I called up my good friend George, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And so he put his wife on the phone with me, who had been a nurse for a number of years, and so she opened up a sense of security for me because she knew exactly what to say. I was at a very low point at that moment, and that's what happens in everybody's life. There are really low points where we don't have the answer. If I didn't have the answer, believe me, I'm sure some of the people that I've called over the last few days are probably going to say, man, Remus taking this crap kind of serious. This can be handled. He's going to be fine. Yes, but as someone who tells other people, find the answer. Answer the solution, as Steve Bonner often told me. He says, we know there's a problem, but don't tell me about the problem. Tell me how we're going to solve it. Bring me a solution to that problem. Then we'll work it out from there. I've got the solution to your problem. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I promise you, we can help you solve that problem that you're having with those credit reports. We can help you improve the credit score, but you have to be open to listen. You have to be open to ask questions that you may or may not understand. There's so much opportunity out there. Think about it. 6 million people in Florida had to relocate yesterday. I was watching the news, and my heart goes out, my prayers go out to those people. But not any different than what I'd gone through 12 years ago, or seeing my entire community go underwater. These kind of things happen to us, people, through no fault of our own. This has to happen. it's a part of the deal. The sun can't come out every day. I mean, it's not gonna be sunny every day. There's gonna be some adversity in everybody's life, and it doesn't matter if you have money or don't have money. People who have money have problems too. Believe me. But this particular problem that we have, it can easily be solved. But it'll never get solved if you don't do anything. If you don't challenge yourself to get the additional information you need to make great decisions, you will never solve your financial credit problems. Now, that's regrettable, isn't it? Think about it. Do you want to have good credit? Now, if you want to have good credit, I promise you, there's opportunities out there. I've met people with 400 beacon scores that we counseled, and within 60 days, there were 660. We got people I've called on the phone that have been in my program, and they've told me about packing up because they've already gotten approved for a home, and they're on their way out to decide whether to build a home from scratch or whether to go modular. This could be you. Do you feel that you're less, that if you have faith and you believe that everybody's equal, whether we realize it or not, everyone has opportunities to have better things in life. It depends on you, whether or not you believe you deserve to have something really good in your life. You really believe that you could have a nice car. You really believe that you should be sitting on the side of the road. Oh, I got it. You want to be driving that hoopty with no air conditioner. And, every place you go, you're all sweaty and frustrated and tired, and you just can't get motivated because your life is such a grind. Or do you want to do something about it? It's time for our second break. This is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, Remus Bowman, and we're going to be right back.
Movers and shakers, it's your girl Rhonda M. Lawson sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis with Lewis Armstrong Family Services here live at New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Come join us. Thank you.
This is Remus Bowman. I want to invite you every Monday at 12 o'clock live for You and Your Credit. You can call in. You can ask me questions. Believe me, I've got most of the answers for you. We're going to help you get a good credit score. We're going to open doors for you to have an opportunity to be successful and pay low interest for your automobile, your home, your credit cards, everything that you buy. We're going to put you on a great path to have a successful future. Send me your request for information. I'll be glad to answer your question. Every Monday at 12 o'clock, join me from 12 to 1 Monday afternoon for You and Your Credit, originating from New Orleans Talk Network.
There's soul food, and then there's food for the soul. At a time where we live to eat, the Praline Connection restaurant serves up recipes that reach back into days long gone. You know, the kind of meals your mama cooked up for Sunday dinner. fried chicken with macaroni and cheese and candied yams, homemade meatloaf with garlic mashed potatoes and string beans, or Nolan's filet gumbo. That's the real soul you get only at the Praline Connection Restaurant, located at the Kona, Chavez and Frenchman Street in the Marinade.
You can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, you can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah,
You can have whatever you like with a great credit score. And I'm telling you that if you start today, you know, a lot of times we're planning to have, to purchase a car. And we're going to plan to make this purchase, I don't know, income tax time. Every year, year after year after year after year after year, millions of people do the same thing. They get their income tax check, they walk into a car dealership, and they buy cars every year. But you haven't taken care of anything else. You haven't. Your credit score's in the 400s. So you got all kinds of high interest rates and surcharges that's being added, and you end up with a hoopty. I'm so tired of seeing people overpaying for what they're getting. And right now, because of the situation in Florida and Houston, the value of used cars is going through the roof because it's a buyer's market. You're going to have millions of people who are going to be coming to Louisiana to buy cars because it's close to the area where they're from and it didn't flood. So as a result, you're going to have a little price gouging going on. Believe me, I know it's already started. So the end result is that it's a buyer's market. And, you know, you can't fault a business person for trying to get everything that's available to him, get the most out of his opportunity. And this is his opportunity. But here you go. I got a phone call, last week from a lady that was in Texas, and she says, well, I'm friends with one of your clients, and you were able to help her get a car with no money down, and can you do that for me? I said, absolutely. Let's see if you qualify. So I ran a credit report, and unfortunately, she didn't. And she didn't have any money to put down, and she was unfortunately involved in a situation that happened in Houston. The point that I'm trying to make is this could happen to you, whether you realize it or not. Adversity is right around the corner in all of our lives. So what I suggest that you do is lock into your phone you and your credit.us. You and your credit.us. Or you can go to my Facebook page, and you see that little red button right there? It says improve your credit. You can press that button right now on Facebook, and it'll go directly to my website. It's just that simple. If you don't want to join the program today, but you want to get information, there's on that same page that you're gonna go to when you go to the website. It says contact us. It's a little green button right here. You and your credit.us. See it right there? It says contact us. Fill out the information. Send me the information that, your questions that you might have, and I promise you I'll call you back. And once I call you back, we'll put you on a track. It depends on you, whether or not you're willing to make the changes and I don't care if you live in New York or wherever. We're national, our companies that we do business with are all national companies. They're all rated by the Better Business Bureau. this should be a wake-up call. This situation that's going on in Florida and Houston, Texas, should be a wake-up call to everyone, because you could be next. There are some areas of the country where they get hurricanes: Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Houston, and Galveston. There are other areas where you get tornadoes, like Kansas City, Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia. Nobody's immune to adversity. No area. So not only are we dealing with things that could potentially happen in our lives from a medical or physical standpoint, or adverse situations coming in contact with the wrong person, being in automobile accidents or whatever. Now we've got to worry about the weather. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of the deal. Just say, hey, I know that, into each life, some rain's got to fall. When's it going to fall on me? Let me just go, and I'll give you a little information on credit today. Before we wrap up, we've only got a short period of time. It's almost time for our last break. But we have a page. In fact, I'm going to be writing a little book sometime in the next, 60 days that we're going to publish. And you'll be able to purchase through our website. We'll send it to you. It's called You and Your Credit, of course. And we're going to give some good tips on how to improve your credit scores. And I'm going to try to keep the book as inexpensive as possible. Maybe $9.99 or $5 or something like that, depending on how much it costs to produce the book. Producing manuscripts is not quite that quite as inexpensive, but we want to put out a quality product that everyone's going to be able to benefit from, and it's going to last. So we want to, we're going to try to look at some good quality stock, and make it something that people can have, that they can refer to as long as they need to, and they'll be able to pass that information down to their children, and and so on. Because one of the biggest problems I find is that even though the information's out there, but it hasn't come across my hands yet. So there's still opportunity for you to obtain the information you need that's going to be directed and at you. It's going to be written in common language so that everybody can understand it. We're going to try to interpret it. Try to write it so everybody will be able to read it and get a full benefit from the information. Sometimes we use a lot of terms that people may or may not have heard before, like FICO score and Isaac score and Vanguard. A lot of times these things are more important to us than we really understand. But because we don't know the difference, or because we don't really know why they have an effect on our lives, on our financial life, that's the reason why we're writing this. It's something that's, because there's been a lot of changes, a lot of new changes in reporting, in credit reporting, by the credit reporting agencies, and we're going to try to put that information out there so you will be able to benefit from it. We're going to try to put it in a form that everybody will be able to read and benefit from, a common sense kind of deal. And we're going to try to make it as cheap as possible based on whatever it costs to manufacture and distribute the book. All right. So, let's just go through some quick information on credit real quick. What's affecting your credit score? What's affecting my credit score is, number one, my payment history. My payment history is the greatest factor in what determines my payment, my credit score. It's the largest factor. Payment history. Have I missed any payments? Payment history is 35% of the pie. 35% of my credit score is developed as a result of my payment history. So if I can correct my payment history, and that's what we teach, that's what we try to teach people on how to correct their payment history, because that's such a motivating factor. Even if you make payments on your accounts and you don't fall behind, but there's certain little things that happen to create your score. Let's say, for example, I have a credit card, and the credit card's for $300 or $500. Now, more than likely, the monthly note on that card's anywhere from $35 to $50. But I think because I'm making this monthly installment on this card, that should be good enough. But when it comes to credit cards, the way the scoring is designed, it's not, because credit cards are installment, or revolving credit types of credit, and it can be reported every month as new credit. So if you have let's say a $400 or $500 card and you pay it off 100%, or you pay 33 to pay it off to 30%, now you get a benefit of having a better boost in your credit score as a result of that credit card. Now, there's also some degree of benefit. There's a great deal of benefit to making the minimum payment versus not making any payment at all. But if you're above your credit limit and the payment that you make is still less than the amount of credit that's available, you haven't benefited as much as you could have. You could have taken a few extra dollars and add to that minimum payment and got under the credit limit and increased your credit score. These are things that we're going to be covering in the book. It's very important information. Hey, it's time for our final break. This is You and Your Credit with Remus Bowman, your host on the New Orleans Talk Network. We'll be right back.
You can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, you can have whatever you like. I said you can have.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a golf course that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
There's soul food, and then there's food for the soul. At a time where we live to eat, the Praline Connection restaurant serves up recipes that reach back into days long gone. You know, the kind of meals your mama cooked up for Sunday dinner. Fried chicken with macaroni and cheese and candied yams, homemade meatloaf with garlic mashed potatoes and string beans, or Nolan's filet gumbo. That's the real soul you get only at the Praline Connection restaurant, located at the corner of Charters and Frenchman Street in the Marinade.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
You can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, you can
have whatever you like
I said you can
with a great credit score. Man, I'm so proud of some of my clients that I've had over these last 3 years. You know, by the way, we've been doing You and Your Credit for 3 years. Last month, in July, I made 4 years that we've been doing the show You and Your Credit, and also I've been in the credit restoration business along with United Financial Services and FES. And some of the things that I've seen happen in people's lives as a result of getting a second chance. Most people, that's all they want. Say, okay, I went through a real bad time. I went through a divorce, separation. My health got bad, but I'm better now. I'm all better now. I'm ready to try it again. Can I find a way to get a second chance? I've got good education, good skill level. I'm not lazy. I'm willing to work. I'll do whatever I need to do to keep it moving, to have a positive effect on my own life and the life of my children. This is the attitude that most people actually have. I've never actually met anyone that said, I think I want to live under the bridge and not really participate in society, not live in a good, clean environment. I don't want to give my children rocks. I want to give them gold. I want to give them the best I can give. And I think that's what most people feel. They feel that they want to give the best that's available to them. But there's this thing that's hampering most people. It's called credit. You ever met someone and, they come out and they try to buy a car, try to get something and say, oh, man, I can't get approved. So what am I going to do now? What's the first thing a lot of people, especially in a certain age range, what are the first thing that they say? I'm going to call my mama. I'm going to call my dad. See, we have a unique amount of responsibility. I call my mama, call my dad, call my siblings. Somebody ought to be able to help me out because I need to have a car to get to and from work. I went through that bad time, that bad thing that happened. I went through that. And I got through it. That's a thing in the past. That's in the rearview mirror. Now, what do I need to do to get my game on? What do I need to do to get me a decent car with air conditioning and maybe a radio? I'm telling you, you got to start with your credit. Go to youandyourcredit.us. That's youandyourcredit.us. You can press the red button and sign up or the green button and request for information. I promise you won't regret it. We have a policy. We have a program that normally helps people improve their credit scores, normally only taking 3 or 4 months. And before you know it, you'll be in a whole different lifestyle. Driving a nice car, living in a nice neighborhood, then you can start thinking about buying your own home. I've got a number of people who have bought homes and bought cars as a result of being in this program, and I'm very proud of the effect that I've had on their life. It makes me feel that I've done something, that I've been a blessing to someone. And it's not about money. It's about giving. It's about changing. I've heard people talk about changing a generation. Well, in my opinion, the thing that affects most of us, the greatest, is a lack of education, lack of knowledge, lack of work, lack of credit. If you took in your own life and you took a pad and a pencil and you wrote down the 5 greatest things that are affecting your life, I bet you're going to find, and there's no way to get out of it, no way to get away from it. One of those top 5 things is going to be your inability to get good credit, to have a good credit score. And I promise you, if you'll press either one of my buttons, send me, go to the website, send me your request for information, we will help you change that. It doesn't start with me, it starts with you. Because everything that you need is right there for you. The whole deal. The credit opportunity, the opportunity to improve your credit's right there. You need to go to the website, press the green button or the red button, start your credit restoration program today, or request information for the new life that you want to live. Oh, by the way, on the website, if you want to see that 2018 new Camry, go to the product section on you and your credit. Press the Toyota button. Toyota has, Toyota. I have the Toyota inventory on you and your credit.us. Press the button. Go to new cars, not used cars. Go to new cars, and you'll be able to pull up the new Camry and see what they look like. See all the different benefits and features they have in the car. It's a beautiful car. So you might want to delay that purchase on that Nissan because that Camry is going to be fire, that Honda. Hey, I've had a great opportunity today. It's been a wonderful time for me to exchange this information. We'll look forward to seeing you next Monday. I'm Remus Bowman for You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. Have a great week.